Welcome, dear Sangha members, to our Sunday Dharma talk with our Venerable Khenpo Tenzin. We will begin this afternoon in our yellow prayer book on page 1. All mother sentient beings, limitless as space, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience, may they experience happiness, be free from suffering, and swiftly may they attain precious, unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment. All mother sentient beings, limitless as space, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience, may they experience happiness, be free from suffering, and swiftly may they attain precious, unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment. All mother sentient beings, limitless as space, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience, may they experience happiness, be free from suffering, and swiftly may they attain precious, unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment. For that purpose, until I attain Buddhahood, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. Until death, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. From today until this time tomorrow, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. I take refuge in the Buddhas until I attain the essence of awakening. Likewise, I take refuge in the Dharma and in the assembly of the Bodhisattvas. Just as the Buddhas of the past gave rise to bodhicitta and progressed along the Bodhisattva's path, so shall I give rise to bodhicitta for the benefit of all beings and practice the stages of the Bodhisattva's path. I take refuge in the Buddhas until I attain the essence of awakening. Likewise, I take refuge in the Dharma and the assembly of the Bodhisattvas. Just as the Buddhas of the past gave rise to bodhicitta and progressed along the Bodhisattva's path, so shall I give rise to bodhicitta for the benefit of all beings and practice the stages of the Bodhisattva's path. I take refuge in the Buddhas until I attain the essence of awakening. Likewise, I take refuge in the Dharma and the assembly of the Bodhisattvas. Just as the Buddhas of the past gave rise to bodhicitta and progressed along the Bodhisattva's path, so shall I give rise to bodhicitta for the benefit of all beings and practice the stages of the Bodhisattva's path. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until I awaken, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. An infinite array of worlds, each with 4 continents and the wealth of infinite oceans of realms. If I bring them all to mind and offer them without exception, please hold with compassion all the beings they contain. My body, enjoyments, and whatever I own, my aggregates, elements, and my sense sources, my aspirations now and in times to come, as well as everything I grasp as mine. By offering them all, may I be blessed with the end of self-grasping. Completely liberated from the bounds of real and unreal, transcending the names and concepts of arising, cessation, and abiding, coming and going, affirmation and denial, the Supreme Mandala is the natural state. By offering it, may I be blessed to attain the state of Buddhahood. Om Guru Deva Dakini Ratna Mandala Pratishta Swaha. Namo to the Guru, the utter purity of all appearance and existence. I offer all appearance and existence arisen as the primordial ground. I supplicate you, may the three realms be completely liberated. Please grant blessings to empty samsara from its depths. Lord, with five omniscient wisdoms, crown ornament, kind one with loving nature, precious protector of beings, heart of all Buddhas, inexpressible by words or thought, I supplicate you from the core of my mind. Bless me from within the state of Dharmata. Bless me to realize this mind primordially pure and unborn as the unfathomable Dharmakaya. Please turn the wheel of the Dharma of the greater and lesser vehicles and the teachings common to both, according to the dispositions and mental capacities of sentient beings.
Durjin Janjin Delo Naro Dhamma Pamala Chuje Gambo Ba Pamudra Javan Dugong Kajulama Nanje Da Jonje Danandana Zera Tanje Da Lama Lobe Laye Jisozon Lazon Yunden Jamsen Ala Tindre Donjin Rebe Gele Zor Jinjin Zava Lama Jije Guzon Doja Zilan Dada Dage Julan Dage Dimbadan Sunje Jadon Jajim Bondra Barsinje Labdo So grant your blessing so that my mind may turn towards the Dharma. Grant your blessing so that Dharma may progress along the path. Grant your blessing so that the path may clarify confusion. Grant your blessing so that confusion may down as wisdom. Many interestingly, their Dharma friends, as well, you know why are we practicing Dharma? Dharma practicing is for the sake of happiness or for the sake of enlightening mind. So that's where we are practicing Dharma. You heard Dharma often. This is your great merit. And then you understand how to practice Dharma. That is your wisdom. Dharma is wisdom. And then you reduce your ignorance, grasping, and defilements, emotions. That means you are step by step close to be enlightenment. We all have a Buddha nature, and this Buddha nature, if this Buddha nature need to blossom or open, then only Dharma is the cause of this blossom. Dharma is existing each and everybody's mind. Buddha nature is also with everybody's mind. So 2600 years ago, Buddha turned Dharma wheel for the sake of all mother sentient beings. Buddha taught 84,000 scriptures. All of these teachings are including 6 paramitas, which are generosity, discipline, patience, diligence, concentration, and wisdom. So we have to know this, how to practice these 6 paramitas or 6 perfections. So that's why today I'm going to explain about that. So among these 6 perfections or 6 paramitas, from generosity to concentration, they are including the merit of accumulating. And then wisdom is ultimate merit. Wisdom is paramita is ultimate merit. So generosity is we can practice paramita of generosity through our body, speech, and mind. This is the first step or first practice. Whether you take a refuge vow or not, still you are going to practice this. So generosity, that means we are going to give something to someone, or we offer to rituals and sanghas or idam deities or so on. Or sometimes we give to the beggars. So why we are going to practice generosity? Because this is for a special method to reduce our grasping. The grasping is naturally, it comes from our mind. Just think I, and then the next, then my. So that's where my clothes, my book, or my money, my phone, my laptop, my tea, my water, whatever, something like that. And then if we are too much grasping on our objects, like clothes and so on, then we cannot liberate from samsara, because these attachments hold our mind. This attachment cannot hold or cannot bend, cannot hold our body, right? But this attachment holds our mind. Then when we will die, still we have strong attachment. Our attachment remain on those things. And then some gurus come in, oh, you visualize Buddha Amitabha, you visualize Pure Land, but your mind is on your object. And the gurus chanting prayer and say something, but your mind is in the object. In your things. This is we can understand in simple way. For example, guru gives empowerment, and guru says, you repeat, and then you image like that, you visualize that and these, those, but our mind is wondering, tomorrow my job is this, my things, how it's going, how about my business, and our mind is just wondering. And then we heard the only sound of a guru, but we don't these gurus instructions does not come in our mind, and then we did not get benefit from gurus through this way. It's very same when we all have the reason we have to purify our mind. Our mind is like a mirror or glass. If we clean the mirror, and then we can see our face on the mirror clearly. So similarly, if we purify the grasping in our mind, and then all gurus' instructions dissolve, it's automatically dissolve in our mind. And then our Dharma understanding, believe in karma, everything increase. Then our realization also increase. So that means we get benefit from Guru's instructions. So we practice generosity. Of course, we dedicate our merit, like chanting and Dharma knowledge and mantras. Those dedication or generosity are wonderful. It's a wonderful generosity, wonderful practice of generosity. But then if, the other thing is, even we feed some food to birds, cats, dogs, and so on, this is also great generosity. So the practice of generosity is like money to buy merit, So we need merit. If we have great merit, then our enthusiasm to practice Dharma is always remain in our life. Milarepa is usually poor. He has no money, no house, no family, but he has great merit. So that way, his merit is such a great home of Marpa's instruction. His merit, Milarepa's merit, is such a wonderful, like a place, beautiful place to grow flowers of Marpa's instructions. So that's where sometimes I think we can become more better than Milarepa. I mean the way of the practice. If Milarepa, he would like to dedicate something, if he would like to dedicate some clothes or food and so on, he don't have them. But right now we have. We have. So the practice generosity is so important. You can dedicate through your mind, body, speech, and mind. Even though you are working on the road, you see some birds and other animals, you dedicate mana mantra. This is so wonderful, wonderful generosity. You are become their spiritual teacher. Spiritual teacher does not mean always explain something. In order to you are practicing, in brief, all of your Dharma practices are whenever you practice Dharma, you are the spiritual teacher. So which means other lives get great Dharma from you, right? So the Dharma generosity is perfect generosity among the giving the things, and then generosity means sometimes you offer to the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and the Yadam deities, and so on. Sometimes you give something to beggars and so on. And then, but you don't expect merit. Oh, if I dedicate this, I have this merit. If you think like that, actually this thinking is a virtue. This thinking is not non-virtue. But through this thinking, you receive some merit. These merits are still impermanence. It will finish. They will not remain with you for longer. So, when you dedicate or you generous something, you don't expect some, or next I will get it. You always try to focus others. When you focus on others, and then your egoistic mind has no place to sit. Egoistic mind, we don't, the egoistic minds disappear. It like the sun shines and then all darkness just disappear. We cannot find them. Where is them? Where are them? We cannot find. Similarly, we think others, and then egoistic mind disappear. And then the discipline. Discipline is the best discipline is trust in karma, and you work under the law of karma. That is the best discipline. This is self-discipline. This discipline protect you. Otherwise, somebody makes some discipline for you, then sometimes you can't practice it, because sometimes you are disagree about that. Sometimes it is inconvenient. It's pretty hard to practice. Oh, you do this, don't do that. Say that through this way. Sometimes it cannot accept. I mean, it's pretty hard for you. But if you are stay under the law of karma, then you are always doing good. Through your speech, you will not activities through the kind of bad, harmful speech, right? And through mind, then your mind is always a virtue. If you are stay under the law of karma, and then your actions also always good, and then your body, speech, and mind always virtue. So then you are increase day by day. So discipline means that. Of course, there are different disciplines like monastics and different traditions. There are different disciplines, but we all have one discipline, that is the karma. Karma is the law over law. So whether you are sleeping or you are eating or you are drinking or you are talking, always this. The law of karma watches you. It's good. It's not bad, because the law of karma watch you. That means then that means the law of karma help you to become Buddha in this life. All law of karma prevent the cause of hell or hungry ghost or the lower realms. So always practice discipline. We should practice discipline, which is the law of karma. Whether you are Buddhist or non-Buddhist, we all have that. We cannot liberate until we become Buddha. We cannot liberate under the law of karma. If you can fly in this space, but still your law of karma is with you. You can go under the ground. You dig a very deep hole, but then still your law of karma will come there. So, but it's good. Your protector. It is your protector. It is our protector, really. Then how we make good relation with the law of karma, our law of karma? You be mindful. That's all. You don't want to respect it particularly. You don't want to pay it particularly. you just be mindful. Oh, if I do this, then my law of karma, see it. That's where it's not okay to do this. Or I will do this because this is a virtue, and something like that. And then patience. Patience. The patience has a lot. But right now, also everybody knows about that. But patience has different. That are best patience is when you practice Dharma, sometimes you have a lot of challenges. Your physical challenges. You are sick or kind of something like that. And then you be patient with them. Patience means you don't lose under tired. You don't lose under the laziness. You don't lose under the ignorance. That is the best patience. Actually, Dharma practice is not easy if you don't have patience, if you don't have diligence, if you don't have wisdom. Then Dharma practice is not easy. If you have this, then Dharma practice is very easy. Dharma practicing is always with us, in our hands, really. So, especially sometimes, until now, I accumulated merit. I participated a lot of teachings. I received lots of empowerment. I received lots of teachings, but I did not get any result. Sometimes you felt like that. Then you should patience, really. Because if you will not be patient at that moment, then you lose, right? Lose Dharma path. Recently, many Dharma practitioners, they lost Dharma path through this way. They expect, so they of course, it's really it's felt compassion. It's felt compassion, but what they think is first, number one, they have serious problems, very strong problems, and then their wish is they would like to remove these problems or these sufferings, and then they comes in the Buddhism, and then they practice, and then they wish they suddenly remove these problems. Okay, then Dharma will do it, suddenly remove, but your karma is very thick, very strong. That's where it seems there's nothing the benefit to practice Dharma. It seems like that, but there is great benefit. For example, on the snow and then sunshine, it melts some part of snow, but still remain there's snow here. It seems like that. So we need patience. Of course, we should practice the patience between the sanghas, Dharma friends, and between the parents and children, and wherever we go, we should practice the patience. But those parts sometimes quite hard, but sometimes not so hard. The hardest thing is we should be patient with the result coming the result, Dharma result. And then Diligence. Diligence is actually, diligence means enthusiasm. We need enthusiasm to practice Dharma. The practice Dharma, you can, there are different trips, different kinds of Dharma practice. I mean, you accumulate merit, you recite sadhanas, and you meditate, right? So the enthusiasm is very important. This is the main principal thing to practice Dharma. So perhaps you heard some masters, they studied Dharma in a few decades, years ago, maybe before we born. Old generations, they don't have the facilities of what is called light, right? Power light. They don't have a solar light. They don't have a generator. And then there one master who, of course, in daytime he read a book, he studied Dharma, but in the nighttime, the moonlight come, or moonlight shine, or what's called. In the moonlight, he read book, and then moon move under the west mountain, towards the western mountain, and then he step by step come up. He followed the moonlight because he is going to read a Dharma book, right? He read, and then morning, whole night he read that book, and morning he said he came up to the top of a mountain. Do you understand? Really, this is not just, this is real story. Some masters do it. Nobody tell them you should do it, but they did it by themselves. Why? Because of the power of their diligence, enthusiasm. And then His Eminence Garchen Rinpoche's guru, Khenpo Tenzin, I read his story. He said that his family, when he went to study Dharma in some Sheda, the philosophical center, and then his family send butter for eat. Tibetan people eat butter with tsampa together, right? So his family give him a butter, small butter. And then what he did do it. Then he did not eat that. He melt it. He make butter lamp, right? Butter lamp. And then use it for a read book in the night. It's smart, and it's such a wonderful, really. So right now we have very good facilities. We have power light, we have a solar light, we have a generator, and we have a lot of facilities. This is good, actually, because of our merit. And then we are going to utilize them for practice Dharma. If we utilize them for cause of samsara, then one day we will regret about that. We use too much the power light. If we use that for cause of only cause of samsara, then we have extra non-virtue. If we use them for practicing Dharma, then we have great merit, of course, and those sponsors has great merit. So directly we have this benefit. Indirectly, those sponsors have and helpers, they have benefits. They have merit. And then meditation or concentration. So concentration is this is a why we are going to meditate? Because our mind is like a flag in the wind, or bottle light or bottle lamp in the wind. Our mind is sometimes move with angry emotion, sometimes move with attachment, and so on. But if we meditate, then we will get intrinsic Buddha nature, intrinsic awareness. This is in our mind. If we bring some what is called telescope, right? We try to see the intrinsic awareness, we cannot see it. But then, actually, where is that? Oh, this is in our mind. In our mind, or outside of our mind, or our minds, or on the surface of our mind? Where is our intrinsic awareness? Our intrinsic awareness is not inside of our mind, not outside of our mind, not on surface of our minds. But our minds are our intrinsic awareness. Then how we will know it? How we can understand them? That only through practice, concentration, meditation. That's where we are going to meditate. So we should. Then you think, oh, if we only meditate, it's all enough. We don't want to practice generosity, discipline, patience, and diligence. We need them because they will help to stability of our mind on intrinsic awareness, and they will help to easily understand the intrinsic awareness. So the nature of our mind, there are nature of, I don't know, this say nature, may not say nature. Our mind has two actions. Grossly, there are two actions. One action is the action of grasping, action of egoistic mind. And this is the cause of samsara. Another part is compassion, bodhicitta, and wisdom. So this is the cause of nirvana. So concentration help us to move towards nirvana. So that's why we have to meditate or practice concentration, and then wisdom. The wisdom is actually everybody has wisdom. If you know your name by your name, this is a wisdom, and everybody has wisdom, but the wisdom, the Dharma wisdom is little different. This is Dharma wisdom is special wisdom. If there is 5 students, they have same faith in their guru. They have same diligence to practicing same diligence for practicing Dharma. But then still there are a little different thing is Dharma wisdom, the level of Dharma wisdom. This is if you are strongly or purely believe in your guru, when you listen guru's teaching, and then you will understand very special thing from your guru. That means your wisdom is powerful. I made example with the 5 disciples, but we can make example through one disciple, one student. Before last year, and this year. Before last year, when you listen Dharma, it's quite hard to understand, but you were listening. And last year you listen Dharma, your understanding is pretty good, and sometimes your enthusiasm will increase, but then you understand what Guru says directly. You could understand. But then this year, Guru says something, and you can bring some extra benefit from there. From that, Guru's words is the same. Before last year, talked about the compassion and the bodhicitta, and then last year also repeated, talked on bodhicitta and compassion, for example. And this year also same, who talked on the compassion and bodhicitta, but your understanding level is increase. So that's where this year you can bring some special thing from Guru's teaching on compassion and bodhicitta. I think it happened with many Dharma friends, really. So your wisdom, which means your Dharma wisdom increase. If you keeps going through this practice, and then your mind is slowly become vast as space. We always pray about like that, right? So then your understanding is became lucid and clear. So then you look at one object, you see lots of things. You can understand lots of new things with one single object. So this, what you understanding, what you understanding is true. What these understandings are true, because in a single object there are lots of things. There are Buddha nature. There are the old the empty Buddha nature, emptiness and clarity, lucidity. Everything's are exist on one object. So we have to practice through these 6 paramitas. If your Dharma practice increase, and then through one action of practice, these 6 paramitas including there, which means, for example, you give you practice generosity, and then you you give, for example, if you give this book to somebody, right? You give this is practice of generosity. You respectfully give is the practice of discipline, paramita of discipline. And you have no kind of the no doubt, or no you have no you are not, what to say, greedy, right? Greed. If you don't have greed, or if your greed arises in your mind, oh, this is a beautiful book, this is important for me, something like that, and you be patient that, right? It's okay, this is important for me, and this is a beautiful book, but I will give, something like that. This is the practice of patience. And then you have enthusiasm, or you give it happily. That means diligence. And then wisdom and concentration combine together. So how to give is, oh, this is my book. You are poor, so I give you. That means that is actually Dharma practice, but this is not ultimate level. This is the practice through the relative levels. The ultimate level is I is not exist. I is emptiness. There is no I. Later we will search during our meditation. And then this book is too. There is no book. First page and second, third, each and every pages are book. If each and every pages are book, then there are lots of books. If each and every letters and pages are not book, then there is no book. If logically thinking about that. But then we think inherently, book is we just label. We make something and we label. So illusory. First we should understand illusory, and then illusory means not truly exist. And then this is Dhamma Dhatu. So if we recognize that, and then we realize this book is also emptiness, real emptiness. And then the object where we give, like a beggar or some friend or something, they are also just appear in my mind, not truly exist. There is no enemies, there is no friends. There is no yes, there is no no. Everything's are emptiness. If you realize that this realization we call ultimate level. So you give you generous through this way, and then these result never ending. This result is beyond of impermanence. This result is beyond of illusory. That result is beyond of good and bad, yes and no. So that's why we always we need to reach on that stage. If we reach on that stage, then we are we are we get exactly the result of Dharma practice. So that way, if you give this book to someone, only through this action, this is only one action, but 6 paramitas including this practice. So, of course, as I explained, the step by step about 6 paramitas, we can practice through this way. First, we learn about the generosity and we practice on there. Second, we practice discipline. Third, we do patience. Fourth, we do diligence. Fifth, we do meditation. Third, we do wisdom. We practice wisdom. That is okay, but it will take time. It will take time. So we what is called slightly or immediately we can practice with 6 paramitas. So all 84,000 of scriptures are 84 teachings, including only this practice, including in one action or one practicing. So we have to understand, and if we understand, then its benefit is understanding is actually special. Actually, there are lots of specials, but if we understand, and then we will not lose our interesting, and then we will we would like to keep continuously these practices. This, if I bring myself for this example, when I read a book, if I understand, then I would like to read continuously. But if I don't understand, then easily tired. So this is the all, I think, human nature. So understanding is very important. After you understand, you have to become habituated to focus in the book, in the meaning. Right now we have lots of the sadhanas. For example, we recite lots of sadhanas and practice. At that time, we try to focus inside. If you recite only one line, that has also including 6 paramitas. You recite, your understanding is your wisdom. If we comes back through this way, and you focus, concentrate inside of meaning is your meditation, and you continuously read it is your diligence. And the opposite of your laziness is patience. If you read exactly the each and every syllables, you don't read like a mispronounce or something like that. That is your discipline. And then I'm reading these for the sake of mother sentient beings. That is generosity. Oh, 6 paramitas are we can practice one time with one line, right? Am I right? Line or one sentence. So always try to, if emptiness, intrinsic awareness, these words are too big or it's too much for you. Yeah, of course. Then you don't try to catch them. You forget them. Forget means first you come through understanding. Actually, when you recite the one sentence, you understand that meaning. Oh, this is easy peasy. If you just say this is easy peasy, then this sentence tells you is easy peasy. So then that's all. You don't know only you know only that meaning, and then you don't know other things on there. You recite that sentence and you continuously focus on there. And then this year, last year, your understanding increase, and you understand new things in this through this sentence. Really, it happened in many times. And then feeling is coming. When we read some sadhanas or some text, we read, and then some these sentences or some text is so interesting, Dharma interesting. They teach us, really. They teach us so sweet, and they let us wake up in compassion. They lead our compassion. Bodhicitta. So understanding is very important. Whether you are philosophical or meditator, or you are Gelugpa or Kajupa, Nimapa, Sajapa, doesn't matter. Understanding is number one, is Buddhism. If you are authentic Buddhist, you should understand. If you don't understand, then your practice is limited. So understanding is very important. If you are going to learn or learning with gurus, or you are going to concentrate, it's your decision. I don't say you are always need to debate. I don't mean that. Or you are always need to meditate. Don't debate, or I don't mean like that. That is your enthusiasm. This is your decision. But understanding is really important. If you see some food, if you think, oh, it seems this food is delicious, but you did not eat that food. But you see some food, you think, oh, this food is delicious, and then you eat. There are big difference. Similarly, your understanding, through your practice, your understanding, first you understand that and then practice, or you don't understand, still you practice. A big difference. Big different, and the result is different. Main thing is that, right? Result is big different. And actually, we said, oh Guru, you are so important. We said that. But the reality of Guru is our mindfulness. Then this mindfulness remain in our mind through understanding, actually. If we understand the quality of mindfulness, and then we have enthusiasm, then we enthusiastically we try to be mindful. So sometimes we easily satisfy. Oh, I understand this part. At that moment, you deceive yourself by yourself. If you understood something, still you think more on it, and then your understanding increase quickly, right? Fastly. So anyhow, we have such a gorgeous opportunity to Dharma practice. That is our great karma. This great karma does not come without cause and condition. So in previous life, we did lots of hard work. Really, in previous life. Unfortunately, we forget what we did. So forget is including ignorance. That's where right now sometimes we waste our result of hardship. For example, we save a lot of money through the hardship, or we save lots of money through very difficult moment. And then one time we forget about this hardship or hard work, and we waste our money. We don't use that money for healthy food, or we don't use that for use that cost of a marriage or something. We just waste them. Why we do? Oh, I forget. When I save this money, I did a lot of hard work, but I forget. It's very. Do you understand what I mean? If you save money at that time, you did a hard work, right? Did hard work, and then here you waste your money. You forget what you did. If you forget, then you don't care to waste your money. If you remember that, and then, oh, when I save this money, I did a lot of hard work, so I'm going to take care or be careful about that. It's very same. We actually, good and bad, everything are depending on karma. Karma, the ripening of karma is depending condition. So right now we we have we are Buddhist. That is so great karma. This karma nobody made for you, okay? You made by yourself in previous life, or in the beginning of this life, or last year, or yesterday, or some hours ago, maybe. And then, right now, you have this condition to repent, right? To repent your great karma. So you should keep happiness yourself and use your greater karma for for the enlightenment. Actually, I tell you, it's pretty easy. Do by myself is not so easy. That means it's we all same really. So that's where always try to do. We try to do what we say and what we think. Actually, all of the saying comes from think. All the saying comes from thinking. But then this thinking, we keep or not, it's depending over the mindfulness, diligence, and patience. Patience, right? Patience. So, the okay, I don't want to repeat these, but I believe you will keep your practice continuously, and sometimes there is some problems or obstacles appear the way of your practice. You be patient. Actually, I tried to say that already, but only now I say it. That means the problem of my English. So whenever obstacles appear in your mind, you always think, oh, obstacles, these obstacles. You say, oh, I'm going to remove these obstacles. You don't say sometimes. Sometimes welcome. You say obstacles, welcome. Sickness, welcome. Sufferings are welcome. Because they invite, Yidam deities, they invite great practice. Right? So the sufferings, obstacles are not always bad things, bad situations. Sometimes they invite good things. So when you keep that in your mind, when you are suffering, then you say, my suffering invite compassion. You should invite compassion. Because when you are suffering, and then you think others is same. If you are not suffering, then it's quite hard to generate your compassion on others. So when obstacles appear in your mind, you don't think, oh, I'm so sad in this world, I'm very sadness person or something like that. You don't be upset, and you utilize them for Dharma practice. Okay. Now we will stop here. And if you have time, we will meditate. and a few minutes later. Thank you very much. O chancho suncho rambo je maji panan je je jipa nyamba mepa kone kondan bewa jo jambar pawe jadar jamba dan gondo sambo de an de jen Teta gunje jisa da lo je gewan de da tam je rab de ngo. Yes, one line, only the.
We're in our yellow prayer book on page 30 at the bottom. May bodhicitta, the precious and supreme mind, arise in whom it has not yet arisen. Where it has arisen, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher.
Thank you very much.